Hello, I'm David Coffin. I'm going to show you how to copy a pair of ready-to-wear existing already made-up pants to make a pattern from them. It's the same technique that I showed in the video on copying a shirt, so you should watch that first so you get the basic idea. So to get started, we need a piece of foam core and some large paper. And I'm using an easel pad, also known as a flip chart pad. If you've seen my other video on making a pattern from an existing shirt garment, really it's done exactly the same way. There are three things that make it slightly more complicated. First of all, the garment is longer than your piece of paper. The simple solution to that is two separate tracings to get the whole garment. So you simply mark somewhere along the pant leg with some tape that's not going to mess up your garment, and use that as a dividing line. So you copy everything from the tape up on one sheet of paper, and then, or on part of the paper, and then you turn the garment around and copy everything from the tape down somewhere else. Then you tape the pieces of paper together. Simple enough. Another issue is that pants usually have darts, and sometimes they have pleats in front. The thing about darts is that they're designed to make a flat piece of fabric take some shape. In other words, we're not seeing this garment piece in its full cut width because there's a dart there. So the way we deal with that is simply to mark all the boundaries, mark the dart line, mark the end of the dart and the beginning, and then feel through the dart. You can actually see it here, to measure at the top seam there what the width of the folded fabric is. So that looks like about 3/8 of an inch. You simply double that, so 3/4 of an inch, and that's the amount of fabric that the dart takes in. So when you are truing up your final pattern, extend each side by half the dart amount. In other words, you spread it out. And you taper the spreading out down to about twice the length of the dart. So you're blending in from the extra width to the original width. The shaping that the dart creates is easy to see. When you try and lay the back part flat, you'll find that there's a bit of fullness right below the dart. So when you're copying the pattern, you simply gather that fullness in, so you're not capturing it when you trace around the seams, and then we'll add that extra back in when we're correcting the pattern outline. The main problem when doing pants is that while you can lay out the front of all pants so that you see the entire pattern piece, the back, you can't do that because the backs are almost invariably wider than the fronts, and when you get to the inseam, you're seeing a fold here. There's two strategies for that, depending on the distance between the fold and the seam you wish you could see. In this case, this is a fairly small pair of women's pants. The distance between the seam and the fold is about an inch. So it's a very easy matter to trace the fold this back, take a ruler, and measure the distance from the seam to the fold, and then simply add that distance here. That works fine when the difference isn't very big. on this considerably larger men's pair of pants, you'll notice that the distance there is more like 2 inches or even 3 inches. So the solution there is you simply fold it in half from hem to waist and match that up with a fold in your paper. So then you trace the seam that you can see on this side of the fold, turn it over, match the crease with the fold in the paper, and trace the seams that you can see on this side. And when you unfold the paper, of course, you can trace around either pinhole tracing to get the entire picture.